Hi guys, so today I'm going to share with you a story. It's a story time of how I started to pray. So my starting to pray began very early. The day I was born, I had very strong connection with my grandfather. I loved him so much. My biggest fear became of losing him. How I got this fear is because he had asthma, and one time he had asthma attack, and he held my hand and he told me not to let go, and he wasn't able to breathe properly, and it was very hard to watch and also very scary. So he became better. He got his medicine and stuff, and since that moment of my life, I was always scared. As soon as he started coughing, I would become very panic. I got panic and I was screaming, and then he used to not like it, but it's just the way I was panicking. Anyways, so he used to ask me what would I do if he died. I used to say, no, you are not allowed to die, and I was scared to lose him. And then this incident happened when I was 7 years or 6, or even like when I was a very child, that he couldn't breathe. So since that until 14 years, I had this fear in my body. Like I grew up with this fear literally. And then one day he became very bad and they called the ambulance, and I was in my room, and then I was praying to God. I was promising to God everything. I was like, please let him like stay alive, and I will do everything. I'll be a good girl. I'll never lie. I do this, I do that. Like I was promising and promising, and I didn't know what to promise. What was the best promise I could do to God so that I can actually convince God to keep him alive? What happened is, like, I didn't even know much about Islam. I was not praying. So I said, oh, let me pray. I will pray 5 times a day if you keep him alive. That's what I said. And I swear to God, I don't know however you want to say it, but I had voice telling me, yeah, you have to pray. Even though he will not survive, you have to pray. I was like, what, not survive? So I ran out of the room. I look at him, and at exactly this second, he was giving out, his soul was going out. Like I could see life leaving him. Like you can literally see that in people. So I saw it, and I was like, terrified, sad, and heartbroken. I was crying. But the next day I started to tell my family to teach me how to pray, and they were telling me, you don't have to learn how to pray because you are a kid, you are still a small child, you don't have to pray. In Islam, people, like children, have to start pray, like get used to be praying from 7 years, and I was already 14. But I didn't know that at the time. I still was 14. I didn't know if I have to. But like basically because of this voice, I told my family, I specifically was telling them, God told me to pray, so I have to pray. Allah told me that. So I started to praying 5 times a day. I used to pray very quickly before. I don't know why. And because they told me that there is shaitan that tries to steal from your prayer, like gives you another thought, I was even more scared. Every time I prayed, I thought about this shaitan. Bro, it was crazy. And actually, praying was so amazing. It was very therapy, because when you are in sujood, I have been told that I'm the closest to God. And that's when I, like if I want to cry, if I want to tell something to God, I just talk to him. I literally talk to him, and it makes me feel so relieved, so amazing. Just like any psychology session, like therapy, anything, like perfect. It's very healing for me. You can try for yourself, but for me, that's what works. And anyways, and one day, I actually lied to my parents. I did a little like sin, but I used to never do that. So for me, this sin, like little thing, felt like a big deal. So I didn't pray. And that time I was 17. I was like, nah, God doesn't want me anymore, because I was lying to my parents and stuff. And what happened is I went to sleep without praying that day. And then I woke up, I saw a dream. In my dream, I saw some guy who delivers letters. He came to me and he gave me a letter. In this letter, there says, King knows everything. King is kind. King is understanding. King is forgiving. Wallahi, that's the dream I saw. I read that letter in my dream, and then I woke up in real life, and I was like, damn, what do you mean king? Who is the king? Of course, God is king. And by the way, I didn't know much about Islam still at that time, because I never read Quran in my language. Like, I never knew about like Quran in my own language. I never read it. So basically, yeah, that's the story. Good luck with y'all.